Hey, what up ladies and gents, it's your favorite Asian robot right here, hopefully your favorite Darktide YouTuber, and today what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually walk you guys through the Purgatus Psyker build that I put out, and I'm going to prove it in Auric Maelstrom. Alright, we're going to do it at 200 ping like we've been doing these past few times. I think it just provides a really strong case for how the build performs. And of course, as I go through it, I'll walk you through how I play, how I make my decisions, all that kind of stuff. So the build itself is pretty much the exact same one you would have seen in the video. You can go for either the dueling sword or the chain sword. It's really up to you. There's no right or wrong answer. Purgatus staff is exactly the same. Curios are exactly the same as the video. The skill tree should be exactly the same as the video. If there are any differences, it's probably just minor. Probably just one talent point shifted around, but most likely I'm pretty sure that this is exactly what I had. All right, so we're gonna go in now. I'm going to set it to 200 ping at North America West. There you go. Gonna go to Auric level. The Maelstrom is Hunting Grounds, Nurgle Blessing. Players have 20% reduced ability cooldown. Okay, off we go. Let's go have some fun. And I'm gonna camera vanish so you guys don't have to look at my face. Now you guys can just enjoy the pure vocal pleasure of me walking you through this.
Difference between victory and defeat. Upload that data to the Heretics Cogitator array to accelerate their downfall. Cipher idents will be required to breach security. I have calibrated your servo skull to retrieve them. Breach security. Upload the falsified intel.
Looks like I'll be dropping in midway though.
Can you do that, varlets?
I just realized that for NA, this is probably the late night crowd. I'm just glad that there's still people here on the server, so it'll help me prove my points.
Should be stink down. Beneficent Emperor, grant comfort to these suffering souls.
Cipher idents required. Likely location, the bazaar.
Jump, shotgunner!
Now, Nurgle blessed enemies cannot be CC'd. You guys should know that already. So what you want to do is you just want to start burning as best you can. Use your left click or your primary attack to stun, whereas the right charge up is better for dealing the actual damage. Okay? So when you've got a sort of mixed horde, I like to start out with my left so that everybody gets stunned, and then I can use my right to finish everything off as needed. Okay? So set up a bastion in case. Now during this time, you can use your skills to Brain Rupture. Alright.
Good readings to the bomber.
Oh dear. As you can see, the charge attack does not actually have a stun. So because it doesn't have a stun, you want to be very careful using it in a big horde, because it won't actually stun anybody. So you just want to be a bit cautious about that. Alright. What I tend to prefer to do is if there's truly a large mixed horde, which we have to deal with, you will want to just use your primary as often as possible, get the crowd stunned, and then you go for a big one. Alright, so learn to balance the both of them out. In this case, primary, big charge. Not even a full charge, but that was more than enough, I reckon.
Pest control measures are ineffective against irritants.
Brain Rupture is mostly for dealing with armored or distant targets, or targets that you can't really see very well. That is its best strength. You've got flames? Well, I've got flames too. There you go.
Into the dark.
If I see stuff like bulwarks, I will usually start brain rupturing. Same with maulers and the like, that's usually what I'll do. Now if I get the chance, alright, and we're not talking about one that has... Now I'll try and avoid the ones with Nurgle Blessing, because Nurgle Blessing cannot be CC'd anyway. But the idea behind all of this is to ensure that you stagger enemies that are a potential threat to your team, and then you deal with them using your fire. The fire will also naturally spread thanks to wildfire, so use and abuse that to your best, the best of your abilities.
Yes, this direction's correct. Shield up! Take Showdown!
Now this is the time where you actually have to put in some serious effort. Alright, you are the flamethrower of the team. Help them. Now, what I did there was I got my Warp Flurry up to max, so by utilizing maximum Warp Flurry, I can charge up my attack fast and dish out plenty of damage at the same time. This is generally useful, alright? When you want to maximize your damage potential. One charge left, be sure to tell people that. Okay. Short one. Short one. Put up shield to ensure that we survive.
Gratitude. Credit must be shared.
Oh, apparently there was two. I guess I made a mistake there. Whoops. I swear I saw one. Yeah, well, it doesn't matter. As long as there's two, I'm happy enough. I will use my brain rupture to assist a little bit. BB number one, as you always say. Okay. Please don't expect the flames to, unlike Surge, right? Your flames are not going to stagger a mutant or anything. So your best bet is actually to use your dueling sword, but in this particular case, I'm just burning them out in case something else comes behind them. So in Auric Maelstrom, I tend to be a little extra cautious.
Shield raised! Come to me!
I don't hesitate to brain burst after raising a shield. Much like with the lessons that I taught on Surge Smite, you kind of have to look after your own back. Nobody's going to look after it for you, so just be a bit careful. Yeah.
I'm with you! Scout shotgunner! Aegis protocol engaged! I concur! Grenade up!
Never see it. The beneficent Emperor sees your work, Templar.
Their throne was with me, weren't it?
Oh. I'm not sure if that was just a ping, but I could have sworn that I struck that properly. Oh well. Brain Rupture in between. Now, as long as you've cast your shield within the 10 seconds that you have the extra fast Brain Burst speed, use that together with an Embarassed Psionic charge, if you have one, and you're pretty much set.
bad. This place is rotten with corruption.
Okay, good. I often use Brain Burst to also check if there's a particular target.
The hound is dealt with.
So do we abhor the mutant.
So if I think that there might be a target there, I will use Brain Burst to check, but, well, Brain Rupture. I keep calling it Brain Burst because that's its old name, and I'm just so used to it, it's so hard to change over. Okay, my favorite part. Against hunting ground hordes, you want to use your burst fire. Why? Because this will burn out the whole horde of them. Okay, try to put down a shield once it's cooled down. This will also give you time, space, room to maneuver, all that kind of good stuff.
Judgment.
Oh, that Doge did a little jump there. How adorable.
I walk far from the light.
Now, what is the maximum range of your flames? This depends upon your cloud radius, but if you have a good one, or if you have a decent enough one, what will happen is that you will get a cloud radius of about 15 meters, which is really, really good. And that's pretty much what you want. So if the boss is at a distance, what do? Brain Rupture, of course. Alright, once it gets closer, this is where you want to start using your Purg to fully burn out the boss. Alright. Burn it out, give it plenty of Soul Blaze, and you should do just fine. And there you go, boss dealt with, no problem.
Aegis protocol engaged.
In the darkness.
Shotgun out.
Face your judgment.
Now I try to keep my peril high when doing this, because if I don't, what's going to happen is that I'm not going to benefit from Warp Rider. So although, you know, when there's a horde to burn out, although I don't do anything to Crushers, I usually try and keep the flames on them as well. You're not going to do very much, but the idea is to burn out the horde so that you can take care of the Crushers separately. Okay, so there you go. Make sure you're doing that. Now, 200 ping may result in enemies taking longer to get staggered, so just be careful of that. I try to adjust it. That poor sniper got rocked. I try to adjust it so that I stagger enemies on time by sort of preempting their movements a little bit, but most of y'all will not be playing on 200 ping, so you don't have to worry too much about what I'm doing. Okay. BB number 1. Okay. Now, if you use Brain Rupture, you have to say BB number 1, okay? If you don't, then the attack will be a lot less effective. Every time you successfully Brain Burst somebody, you say BB number 1. There you go. And here it goes, here it goes, here it goes. BB number 1! Oh, we didn't get the BB. Okay. Now, if you see a Doggerino, please burn it out. Alright, I was having a little too much fun there. I should have serioused up. That was my bad. Okay, now's the time to have some fun. Okay, you see a big horde, you know what to do. Burn them out. Get your shields up constantly. Keep your team alive. Don't forget that if your shield gets destroyed or disappears, okay, your team gets 50% toughness damage reduction. So, I mean, assuming you're following my build, that's exactly what you'll get. So use and abuse that. I'm always very conscious of when my shield cools down, so that if I can help out at range, I will. You be number one! Okay, no more that I can see for now.
My time of need is upon me. Wouldn't like that. Nobody's stronger than me.
Okay, that's good.
You're right.
We can take the stims, all the other stuff.
Shadows concealed.
Engage station! Agreed!
Throw with you, bummer.
Okay. Everything's looking fine so far.
Old Grendel's got the Sisters of Battle on standby. Just in case, you know.
I concur. Their tactics would align with the Aldo heretics. Perhaps too well.
We're on our
Drag shots on it.
Okay. Crushers, bulwarks, the usual.
Agreed! And a great strike!
Oh, of course they found cover.
Emperor walk with me.
Retrieve the Psyker ident. You are already 12.1.
Now, if they're at a distance, then it is best to do that. Use your brain rupture to... Oh dear. Now, go for the revive. Once the shield is safely around the individual. And again, if you can, help out at a distance.
Drag system running formation. Don't act fucking now.
Unfortunately, Brain Burst is incredibly slow, but that's okay. It really does need a buff, but hey, it gives me a nice long range option. Oh, he managed to touch it. Nice. Now against Maulers, your flames are highly effective because they're scab armored on the body.
Got a top flamer. Right, we're at the bazaar. Looks like they've been having a crack at one another.
Into shadow. Out of sight.
Take magic box from pocket. Point it at things until it goes green.
Oh man, I killed a poxhound instead of the actual enemy. I'm saddened by that. Okay, in keeping with the actual range of my flames, I'm just gonna move in, use my primary, stun and kill as you go. When it comes to bulwarks, your flame is not going to go through their shield, so I try to aim the flames either around them or at their feet so that they catch on fire, because Soul Blaze does a lot of damage to unyielding, but you need to actually ignite them first. That's the key. If you don't ignite them, then nothing will happen. Okay, this way. Got it.
That will be sufficient. Upload to the servo skull. So good.
Now your job is not primarily to hunt elites and specialists, no. Your job in any situation as a Purg Psyker is actually to form the crowd control with the fire. Okay? So you have a similar role to a Smite Surge Psyker, except that you also have the additional power to deal with bosses, but you don't CC certain targets, fortunately. If somebody goes and deals with specials, then you don't have to worry about it too much. In general, your range is close to mid. That's your effective range, so use that. But don't give up on range combat entirely. Like, if you need to, you know, make sure you actually in combat at all times, even if you have to use Brain Burst on some random scab shooter.
I've seen enough of the
I sentence these enemies to death in his
At times, one of the funniest things that I find is like, okay, I really have to help out the team, but they're all going for the specials and elites, so I just end up brain bursting some random shooter.
Take Showdown! It's malicious minds, tokens!
I have no clue what the dude said, but okay. I assume he is making some humorous joke that is that I am just unable to understand.
Haste garments. Compensate for lost time.
But I generally find the community is very nice. There's a few toxic individuals, but thankfully they don't have a large fan base. I'm just gonna deal with the horde. Go. Make sure to toss out your brain ruptures in between. With Empowered Psionics, the charge time isn't bad. So if you see someone you can lock onto, just use it and snap their head.
They worship a plague demon, Ogre. Their sacrament is putrescence.
They serve the very antithesis of life and purity.
Aegis protocol engaged! I concur.
Won't be a problem now. Pull me up.
Help the roughneck!
The guard never surrenders.
Praise be to the beneficent Emperor. Who will be first to offer their thanks?
Do not do this alone. Remain as a circuit, a group.
There we go. So burned out the horde of hounds. More Dogarina should be on the way. Gonna cover the area in fire just in case. BB number 1. There we go. You know, one time I accidentally stabbed Foxburster and it did not go well. I said, you don't need to worry, just kite them and then burn out the horde. Your role and duty is crowd control, kind of like with the Smite Surge Psyker, but just that you do it differently. And that there are some targets you cannot handle, while the Surge and Smite generally handles all targets. But you handle bosses better, way better. Okay, light one, slightly bigger one. Biggest. We'll just wait for the fire to pass. I don't feel like roasting myself, you know? These guys are great. They resolve the issue without any problems. Whoa. Whoa. Nah, I didn't watch my own back there. That was my mistake. That should not have happened. Thank you. That was an unexpected Rager Swarm, but I should have been more aware.
Stand up and fight!
Just doing my duty.
Close range burns can be a bit difficult if they're too close, because unlike with Surge or Smite, there's no guaranteed CC. You do it like you sort of do it slowly over time, so yeah, you gotta be a bit careful of that. Positioning is much more important with the Purg than with the Surge Smite, because my habit with the Surge Smite is to just use it anytime, anywhere, but with the Purg, you can't really do that. You genuinely have to be very good at positioning and also at using your primary fire. Now here, because although there's a big horde and I would normally burn them out, I can also see that they're all just coming in from like two sides at once and potentially from the back as well. So for this reason, oh dear. That's no good. Ah, should have quelled a bit there. Unfortunately, some mistakes were made. That stim was beautiful. There we are.
Data stream viable. I can only imagine you attempted random inputs until it worked, but it is now working.
Cover! Find cover! Fucking hell, bitch, you're scaring me!
The Infasto's dreams beware.
I would love to blame ping for that, but honestly, even if you're playing on 200 ping, you should be able to predict when you're about to hit that. And even if you're edging, that was just sloppy control. So for me, for my part, right, one thing which I'll try and do right now is, so if you're even if you're edging the Warp Rider damage, right, once you get to about here, you should pull it down. I made a rule for myself, which, granted, I wasn't following earlier. I make a rule usually to quell every single time that I hit 85 or so %, because once you reach that stage, you're like, nope. Once you reach that stage, you are very likely to explode, so I try not to go beyond that. Like, I will if I'm using the secondary fire, because even if you charge up to, like, let's say 95, and you go over 100 while spreading fire, you will not actually explode. But you will explode if you cast at 100, so you gotta be a bit careful about that. Ooh. My weakness, Ragers. I really hate how the Ragers are always, like, super silent. It's the one thing that I miss about Smite. Smite will just trigger, like, behind you. And like I said, you can't just blame 200 ping for that, because sure, it will make it a bit more difficult, but realistically, you know, you've got to account for that. In this case, here we go. Falling down. I don't want to go over that, yeah? This time around, I'm being very, very cautious because I've already messed up enough. Okay. And there you go. Okay, and that is the end of that. Okay, hope you all enjoyed the show. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one, okay?